For another Michael's Community Classroom lesson. My name's Emma Panuski. I'm a content creator here at Plaid, and I'm joined alongside Lindsay Uten, who will be moderating the comment section down in the class below for you all today. Today, we're going to be making this really cute bird feeder with obviously all things you can get at Michael's, and they're just made with terracotta pots, some dinner plates, and some Folkart multi-surface paint, and the star of the show, Podge Outdoor. So I'm really excited to show you guys how to do this craft today because it is just a really cute little personal project that you can add to your outdoor space to really make it your own. And it's really inexpensive and it's super easy too, as you'll come to find out. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you, Michaels, for allowing us to be here with you today and to give you guys this inspiration. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, before I get started, I just want to mention that during this class, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So if you have any questions throughout the live stream, make sure to comment them, and Lindsay will randomly pick a winner from the comment section to get some really awesome Mod Podge and Folkart product. So let's go ahead and get started. So there's a supply list provided to you guys for the class today, and I just kind of want to go over that. One of the things I want to point out is that, you know, if you don't have a certain paint color, if you couldn't find it at the store, that is totally okay. You can be totally flexible. That's the great thing about this. That's the great thing about this craft, is that you can really use whatever color paint you like, and whatever, you know, works for you. So I think in the event listing right here, that's what we're going to be using today, and all these colors are available at Michael's, is Folkart multi-surface paint. So we're going to be using multi-surface because it works on a variety of different substrates. It works on, as you'll see today, porcelain and ceramic and terracotta. It also works on metal and glass, and other acrylic paints don't work so well on those non-porous surfaces. So that's why we're going to be using Folkart multi-surface, because we have these little saucers that are porcelain and ceramic. So we need that special paint to help it stick. So we're going to be using multi-surface Folkart pure orange, baby pink, pueblo, light lavender, yellow ochre, titanium white, and bright pink. Okay, and then of course you're going to need your Mod Podge Outdoor. That's really the magic thing that's going to allow this craft to come together. And obviously the great thing about Mod Podge Outdoor is that you are able to put your sealed Mod Podge projects outside, unlike regular Mod Podge. So Mod Podge Outdoor is a total game changer. If you are a decoupageur or you're just kind of dipping your toes in the decoupage scene, Mod Podge Outdoor is a really, really awesome formula that we have. Obviously, you're going to need some terracotta pots, and Michael's has a great variety of sizes. So they've got you covered there. Like I said, those little dishes that, you know, just be mindful, just make sure they correspond with your whole T or shape going on here. And then we put this one together with E6000 just because it's a really durable glue and it's able to be indoors and outdoors. Oh, and obviously a paper pack. Michael's has a ton of different scrapbook papers in their scrapbooking section, and they have some really awesome paper packs too. So this is from a really cute paper pack available at Michael's. And we're gonna, you know, kind of, I can't remember this word today for some reason, but we're gonna kind of stray away from this pattern a little bit more and break out these kind of rainbow motifs. So let's go ahead and get started. Do we have any questions so far, Lindsay?
Well, Cynthia would like to know if greeting cards would work.
Yeah, absolutely. So of course we're using Mod Podge Outdoor. And so you wouldn't need outdoor Mod Podge for greeting cards because I don't think the greeting cards would go outside unless you wanted them to. But yeah, you could use just regular Mod Podge with greeting cards and paper. That's a great craft. I love, you know, using stationary products with Mod Podge.
And Pam mentioned floral napkins, which we love to use napkins with Mod Podge here at Plaid.
Absolutely. So that's a great thing that you mentioned, Pam, because it doesn't just end with paper when you're using Mod Podge. You can Mod Podge with paper, you can Mod Podge with napkins, with tissue paper, with fabric, any of those different things would work on these terracotta pots and plates. So you don't have to just use paper, you guys, today. So thanks for pointing that out, Pam. That's a really awesome comment. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pick the colors that I want to use for my terracotta pots. And I'm going to start painting those pots. So I also, want to be mindful of the different size terracotta pots that I have. And I have quite a, good amount of sizes here. We have like a mommy, daddy, and a baby, or just a big, medium, and small. Okay. So I got my big, my medium, my small. That's all you really need.
And Alicia would like to know where to find us on Facebook. And you can find us on Facebook at Plaid Crafts, or you can also find us at Let's Paint with Plaid. So either of those places is a good place to find us.
Yeah, absolutely. Plaid Crafts is just our general crafting account where you're going to see a lot of our Mod Podge content if you are here for the Mod Podge. And then Let's Paint with Plaid is a really, really awesome resource that we also have where artists like Andy Jones and Donna Dewberry, Jesse Jennings, Priscilla Hauser, and Chris Williams, they all share the really awesome works of art, and they do lessons bi-weekly, and we do a Let's Paint Live painting every month. So it's a really, really great resource if you are an artist and a painter.
So a couple of people want to know if water-based Mod Podge would work, and actually all of our Mod Podge formulas are water-based, but this is specifically for outdoors, correct?
Yes, so if you just wanted to keep your bird feeder indoors, then you would just use regular Mod Podge, but because we are intending to put our bird feeder outside, that's why we're using Mod Podge Ultra. And an alternative to Mod Podge Ultra, you could use am I saying Mod Podge Ultra?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I meant to say Mod Podge Outdoor. We're using Mod Podge Outdoor today, but an alternative to Mod Podge Outdoor is Mod Podge Ultra. If you've never heard of Mod Podge Ultra before, it's a spray on Mod Podge, and it doesn't come in an aerosol. It comes in a like spray applicator, spray nozzle, I should say, and that is also able to be. It is made for, it's intended for indoor and outdoor use. So if you don't have any Mod Podge Outdoor, Mod Podge Ultra is really, really awesome as well.
Donna would like to know, does the paint seep into the clay pot?
So it does a little bit, and that's just because this terracotta pot is porous, and we're adding, there's water in paint. So we're adding water to something that is so porous and it's so dry, it wants to suck up all that moisture. So the paint is gonna seep into the pot, but it does not affect the opacity or the vibrancy of your clay pot. So it does, but it's nothing to be worrisome.
And Bev would like to know, are you prepping the clay pots with anything before painting?
Nope, I'm just going ahead and painting straight on the clay pot. There's no need to prep it or anything. The Folkart multi-surface and regular Folkart acrylic work really well on super porous surfaces like terracotta. Those are great questions. So sorry guys, I know this part is a little bit boring, but just in case you're crafting along with me, I wanted to do this step by step so that we could all stay together during the craft, and so you guys could follow along with me. So right now we're just kind of base coating these pots. Right now I'm whipping out my Pueblo. Just then I used my light lavender color, and I'm loving these questions.
And Emma, I do see a lot of people crafting along with us today. So yay, so excited.
I'm so glad.
How many coats did you apply on the pots?
So this is just one coat. And you see how opaque that is? I don't even need another coat.
That's great coverage.
Yes, awesome coverage. That's why I love Folkart paint so much. You guys, I would love to know in the comment section if you, I'm not like a bird person really, but I am a nature person. And so I would love to hear if you guys are doing this craft along with me today, what kind of birds live in your area and what you're kind of hoping to maybe see on your bird feeder.
Well, Emma, just so you know, the Nussbaum family said Caroline is making this for her daddy's birthday.
That's awesome, Caroline. I'm sure he's going to absolutely love it.
Yes, the top has a rainbow, the middle has trees, and the big one is a family portrait, including their new dog. Oh, yay!
Awesome. I love that, Caroline. That's a great thing too, Caroline. If you maybe don't want to just Mod Podge, you can obviously just paint on with your Folkart multi-surface and make this really cute tier.
And Helene would like to know, does the paint dry fast?
Yeah, so remember we painted that light lavender color. I'm sorry, that's just from me just painting on it. See, no purple's coming off on my hand. It's already bone dry.
Amazing.
Yeah. And that's also because it's terracotta and it's so dry, it's really sucking in all that moisture, and that's why it's drying so quickly.
We have people commenting that they have mountain blue jays and cardinals and robins, all kinds of different birds in their area. So yay.
Awesome. Well, I hope you get some little bird friends on these bird feeders, and I hope that they appreciate your kindness of leaving a snack out for them.
I'm sure they will. And Megan would like to know, does acrylic also work? But this is acrylic paint, correct?
Yep. So Folkart multi-surface is acrylic paint. That's what we're using today. It's non-toxic. You can get the whole family involved. But yeah, good question.
Barbara says they just have squirrels.
Yep. I feel like maybe a lot of you will get some squirrels.
Yes.
Showing up at your bird feeder quite often.
But we have lots of different birds and lots of people joining us from all over the place. So welcome, everyone.
Yeah, if you're just now joining us, welcome. Today we're making a 3-tier bird feeder with just some terracotta pots and some ceramic or porcelain, really whatever kind of substrate you have, just some little saucers and some little dinner plates. So welcome and thanks for joining us. And happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty glad it's Friday.
So Shetha says there are mourning doves, crows, cardinals, blue jays, chickadees, goldfinches, hawks, eagles, ducks, and geese where she lives.
Wow.
She has all the birds.
Yeah, your ecosystem is very diverse.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right, so now that we've base coated our terracotta pots, we are going to go ahead. Look how big they are. They're beautiful. And I love this color palette too, you guys. It's like kind of springy, but I love Valentine's Day. So maybe I subliminally put some Valentine's Day-ish colors in there. But I think that they're kind of feminine looking and I really like those colors. So now we're going to break out. And if you don't know, you guys, I might not have mentioned it, but that last color I just used, it is baby pink. I don't think I said that. So next we're going to use yellow ochre for our plates. And you know, before I squirt that out though, someone had a question earlier. Do we need to prime our terracotta pots at all? No, you don't need to prime your terracotta pots, but you do need to prime your ceramic and porcelain saucers. Got a little bit of paint on the table. So what we're going to use to prime, and I'm saying prime, but I really just mean clean. What we're going to use to clean our our plates is just some rubbing alcohol. There we go. So I have this squirt bottle and it's just filled with isopropyl alcohol. And I have some paper towels and I'm just gonna put some alcohol in my paper towels. Just spray it on your plate, either way. And what this is gonna do is it's gonna eliminate all the dust and dirt from your plate, but most importantly, it's gonna eliminate all the oils that it gets on the plate when you touch it. So even if your plate looks clean and it doesn't look dirty, you might still just want to go ahead and give it a good spray or wipe down with some alcohol. So just that the paint adheres better to the surface.
We do have a question from Tarika about the kind of paint. She's using a different kind of paint. We recommend the Folkart multi-surface paint, which you can buy at Michael's. That's really good for any kind of surface, whether it's indoors, outdoors, terracotta, ceramics. It has a lot of different uses. So that's the paint that we recommend using for this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great multi-surface paint and it really, really sticks to a lot of different substrate surfaces. Okay, so now we're going to place our yellow ochre on our palette there. And then these are available at Michael's. They're little sponge daubers and they're really dense in the sponge. So they just apply paint to your surface really, really nicely. So I'm going to show you guys that. So what you want to do is you want to apply your paint to your palette and then just place it on your dauber, maybe offload just a tad. And then you're going to spounce it on there. And look how beautifully it's going on there. We're not getting a lot of bubbles like sometimes you do when you're using a sponger when you're painting. It just goes on so beautifully. And I'm kind of going over, like if I got an area on my plate where there was an abundance of paint, all you have to do is if you're running out of paint again, you just kind of have to go back over and even it out and then bring that paint over to an area where there's not a lot of paint.
So we have a couple of questions.
Sure.
Cynthia would like to know, could you use molded plastic pots and saucers instead of terracotta?
Yeah, you absolutely could. And that's the great thing about multi-surface paint too. If I was just using terracotta in this project and I was not using ceramic and porcelain plates, I would probably just use our regular Folkart acrylic. Because terracotta pots are porous, the regular acrylic will adhere to that surface just fine. But if you're using plastic pots or something that is not as porous as terracotta, then that's where the multi-surface paint really shines because it is able to stick to all those surfaces really well. Great question.
And for Bev, yes, Emma is using yellow ochre right now. And for Pam, will this be available to view on Michael's site? Yes, absolutely. Please go to michaels.com and check out the community classroom page. And you can view this and many other video tutorials in that location. And we hope you enjoy seeing everything that Plaid has done.
Yes, absolutely. And this video should probably be available on Michael's website and their YouTube channel in about 24 to 48 hours. So just keep an eye out for it. And then you'll be able to, rewind or fast forward at your own leisure. Got some paint on my hands.
Now, Emma, if you were going to use the regular formula of Folkart acrylics instead of the multi-surface, would you recommend sealing that with Mod Podge? How would you do that?
So that's a good question. I would recommend sealing it. We're going to seal it with our Mod Podge Outdoor anyway, but I would definitely do that if you're just using regular Folkart acrylic, because it's really going to help, you know, if this is my, here, I'll do a little diagram with my hands. Oh my goodness, if this is my surface and this is my paint and this is the Mod Podge is going to kind of keep the paint adhered onto the surface. You know what I mean? So that's our kind of barrier of protection. That's keeping our paint onto our surface because, you know, multi-surface is intended to adhere really well to all different types of surfaces, you know, just like its name. So, so I would recommend using multi-surface just because it'll adhere to the surface better, but that's what I would definitely do if you're using just normal acrylic paint. Hope that answers your question. So yes. Great idea. You would definitely want to use Mod Podge Outdoor to seal the paint. Okay, we're going to switch to the smaller dauber tool.
And Pam says this is a great craft for kids, and I see some kids crafting along with us today, so I'm super excited about that.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody. I'm so glad that you've joined us today. I think this is a super fun craft.
Definitely. And we have some questions about what will be in the giveaway. And to answer your question, Tarika, you'll have to wait and see. Surprise.
I love this. I love the color yellow ochre. It's so pretty.
It's beautiful. Cynthia would like to know, will outdoor Mod Podge withstand winter conditions, or should it be brought inside during winter?
You know, if it's going to be a huge storm, a huge blizzard, or, you know, a lot of snowfall, I would definitely take it outside just to be safe. But it is, you know, formulated to be outside. So a light drizzle, anything like that, it's definitely gonna, you know, keep intact. But if you are aware that something a little bit more serious is going on, like a, you know, a larger rain shower, then it's, you know, better safe than sorry. I would definitely, you know, take it inside and be mindful of that. Great question. Okay, so while our sauces are drying, before we're going to give them another coat, I'm going to go ahead and put my sponges in my water basin because we don't want them to dry out. And we're going to start cutting out our shapes from our paper pack.
And before you do that, Emma, could you show the bottle of yellow ochre really quick, just so everyone knows? Ochre is OCHRE.
Multi-surface, and it's available in the you know, craft paint section where all the other acrylic paint is at Michael's.
Yes.
Kind of like by the specialty Folkart paint too, like where the glitterific and dragonfly and color shift, all that good stuff is.
And are you doing a light coat of the paint, or is it supposed to be thick?
Yeah, so it's a light coat because we, if you can tell, because we don't want any texture in the paint. So we want it to be really smooth on there. So yes, it is definitely a light coat. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab our paper or our napkin or whatever we're using to Mod Podge, and we're going to cut out our shapes that we want to put onto our terracotta pots. I would love to know, you guys, if you've chosen your own color palette for this craft today. I would love to know what colors you're using for your bird feeder.
Ronnie would like to know if this will fade in the sun.
Yeah, great question. So the Mod Podge Outdoor, it's formulated to withstand outdoor conditions. So that comes with that is obviously the sun, which is obviously outdoors. So yeah, it's formulated to withstand sun fading.
And you too, Deb, would like to know, could you use the color shift paint?
Yeah, that's a great idea. You absolutely could. And color shift is multi-surface. So it will adhere to your terracotta and your ceramic and porcelain really well.
You guys have great questions today.
Yeah, I'm loving, seriously, really loving these questions. And all these comments and suggestions. So Lindsay, do we have any pretty palettes that people are painting with today?
We do. Dee said she's using magenta and gold glitterific.
Ooh.
Genevieve is using blue, purple, pink, and green.
Beautiful.
Angela's palette is turquoise, yellow, and light pink. So yes, lots of different palettes.
That's awesome.
I love it.
So you guys, sometimes when you're cutting small shapes that you're about to Mod Podge, is a little painstaking, but there's something that's so relaxing about just kind of settling down and cutting out some shapes.
Gail would like to know, could you use stencils for this?
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. You absolutely could use stencils for this. Yeah, you would just use your regular Folkart multi-surface and some stencils. You'd apply your stencils onto your pot or your plate. That is a really great suggestion. I love that. Hey, Cricut.
I was going to say, yes, Cricut.
In
this class today. Welcome.
Happy Friday.
Gail said she got some fairy stencils at Michael's that she might use for the outside. That would be really cool.
Love that. Maybe put this in a little fairy garden. Super cute.
That'd be amazing.
Rainbows too. Love it. Okay, we're going to cut out a few more rainbow shapes just to be safe. And so just a tip, if you're cutting out something that has a flat edge, just to save you some time, just make one sharp line. So you can just, cut around the little arches instead of having to cut that flat edge every time. And don't put all your effort into your scissors. Let the scissors do the work for you and move the paper around the scissors instead of having to cut around there.
And you could really use anything for this. Patrice says she uses colorful pages in magazines.
Ooh, a great idea.
You could find napkins, scrapbook paper. There's so many different options.
I feel like one of the original Mod Podge crafts is, obviously making collages. And I feel like that's making a comeback, Lindsay. I've been seeing people get vintage National Geographic magazines and cutting out some really cool images from that and then making these really, really neat collages.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, so I love that idea of using magazines for this craft. That's a great idea. You guys have the best ideas. So now I'm going to I just want to cut out some of these shapes just so I have a wide array of different little icons to choose from. So now I'm going to cut out some of these bigger rainbow shapes.
Pam says she has maps from Disney World. That would be an awesome way to use them.
Yeah, that's a really cute idea. I love that. And I'm just trying to get, kind of close to our arch, just so that we don't see any of that white space on our pots. And I just like to, be mindful of the size of the paper or the napkin that I'm working with. So if it's easier to work with a smaller amount of paper or whatever you're using to Mod Podge. So it's always good to trim it a little bit just to make it easier to work with.
And you're using scrapbook paper right now, correct?
Correct. I'm using scrapbook paper from a paper pad that I got at Michael's.
Awesome.
But like we said earlier, tissue paper would work, napkins would work, fabric would work, wrapping paper. I see that comment, Donna. That's a great idea.
And Stacy would like to know, how many layers are you using and how long does Mod Podge take to dry?
Yeah, so, with any Mod Podge, it's good to just read the instructions on the back of the label. Make sure you follow all those instructions and then watch it work its magic. It's awesome.
And April would like to know, could you use vellum?
Yeah, you totally could. And going back to that last question, I would probably put 2 coats of outdoor Mod Podge on my project. I don't know if we'll get to the whole 2-coat thing, but that's what I would do.
And I see a lot of people crafting along with us. So please post your creations online, hashtag plaid crafts, hashtag make it with Michaels. We would love to see your finished product.
Absolutely. Like I always say, obviously the best part of my job is being able to craft all day long, but the next best part of my job is being able to see what you guys are doing with your plaid product at home. I just think that is the coolest thing in the world. And feel so honored that I get to inspire you guys to make some art. So now I want to cut out these little tassel shapes. I think they're super cute. Tassels are super trendy right now. Like I said, let's cut it down a little bit, make it easier to work with. Why not?
We have a lot of Mod Podge fans watching today, so
Awesome.
welcome.
Yeah. And the great thing about this project to you guys, it's a great project for Mod Podge beginners. It is a super fun project if you're an experienced Mod Podger. It's really just a fun project all around. And it's great for all skill levels. Because it's super, super versatile. I feel like, when a project is so versatile and you can really, really change it to meet your own personal taste, that's when it's really fun for people of all ages.
And I love all the products we make, but Mod Podge is definitely one of my favorites.
Absolutely. It is certainly a classic. Does the best job at what it does.
Kathleen says, before you ladies were born, I made a wooden clock face with a potted plant print using Mod Podge. I think they only had one kind then. And I challenged her because I think I'm older than she thinks I am. But that's amazing that you made that.
Yes, that is really, really awesome.
Patrice said these would make wonderful gifts.
I agree, Patrice. They would make really cute gifts. This would be a great Mother's Day or Father's Day gift. I'm trying to whisper so that if you live with your mother or father, they will be.
And I do see some kids crafting, so shh.
Keep that on the down low.
Yes.
All right, I think we have enough tassels, you guys. So now what I'm gonna do, you know, this is always just a good thing to know. If I need something to dry, just go ahead and move on to something else that you need to do. And then you can come back to it and then it's dry enough for you to give it that second coat or whatever you need to do. And it's still a little bit tacky. And a good note that I learned from, I can't remember who I learned it from, but if you're not sure if something is totally dry yet, if it's cold, that means that it still needs to dry a little bit longer. If it's room temperature, that means it's good to go. So even if you think that something is totally dry, if it's pretty cool to the touch, that means that the water from the paint is still being evaporated. And so it's gonna make the surface a little bit cool. So there's some nerdy science for you, but that's a great crafting tip. So I'm gonna hit this with a blow dry a little bit because it's a little cool to the touch. Okay, sorry that took a second, you guys.
It's all good. We've had a lot of comments while you were drying.
Awesome.
Kathleen would like to know, she says, I would be tempted to apply glitter. Can you Mod Podge glitter paint?
Can you Mod Podge glitter paint? Absolutely you can, and that is a fabulous idea. Oops, my goodness, I keep trying to like get some of the water off of this sponge brush and I keeps falling out of the basin. Yeah, so what I would do is if you wanted to use, let's say, glitterific or just loose glitter, I would apply that to your, if you're using glitterific, I would apply that to your terracotta pot and then apply the Mod Podge Outdoors afterwards, just so it'll withstand the outdoors. Or if you're applying just loose glitter, I would put Mod Podge Outdoor on your pot and then put the glitter on top of that. And then when that's dry, seal it with the Mod Podge Outdoor. Or there's so many glitter options, you guys. Or you could use one of our really awesome Mod Podge glitters, like our Mod Podge Sparkle or Extreme Glitter, and apply that to your pot. And then once it's dry, seal it with the Mod Podge Outdoor. Hope that answered your question. There's so many ways to craft with glitter.
And Harold would like us to repeat the drying tip. So you're drying that with a hair dryer, correct? Just a standard hair dryer?
Yeah, so just all I said was that if a way to tell that if your surface is still a little damp is just place your finger on it. And if it's still a little cool, that means that the paint is still evaporating, that the water from the paint is still evaporating. So it's going to leave your surface nice and cool. So even if you think that your surface is dry, it might be a little bit damp still if the surface is cool to the touch instead of room temperature. So you guys, I'm just going to go ahead and use my regular flat brush, because now that I have one good coat of paint on my surface, I can just go ahead and use my brush to apply the rest of the paint.
Megan is excited to find out that we make Mod Podge Glitter. Yay!
Yeah, absolutely. Check out michaels.com for all of our different Mod Podge Glitter varieties. We have quite a few.
Dee says Mod Podge Glitter is awesome.
I
And
agree.
Maya says she doesn't like glitter because it's super messy, but with the Mod Podge Glitter and with our glitterific formula, there is no mess, right?
Yep. So I'm glad you brought that up. I don't like, secrets out, you guys. I don't really like crafting with glitter either, because the glitter gets everywhere. You're like, you have glitter like in the part of your hair for like a week after you craft with glitter. But we have a really awesome product called Folkart Glitterific, and it is a paint. It's not a glitter glue or anything. And you can find it at Michael's. Buy the rest of the acrylic paint. And what it is, it's a bunch of different sized particles of glitter suspended in a clear base. And so that means that there's no loose glitter involved. So it's just like a paint. You paint it on your surface wherever you want your glitter. And it is gorgeous, you guys. I mean, I'm telling you, it is really, really pretty. And after I'm done with this plate, I'll have to grab a bottle to show you guys how beautiful it is. And I'm just gonna put a little, I'm just gonna put a little bit more ochre on my palette.
And I have a 12-year-old daughter, and we love, love, love glitterific. But it's so nice to not have to worry about the mess, just being able to glitter everything.
Yes. And the good thing about glitterific too, you know, you can either be really generous with your application of it and put a lot on and let it dry for a while, or you can just put a little bit on and you get like a really nice thin coat of glitter. It's really awesome. So you guys, that's only 2 coats, and that's pretty good. I think I'm going to keep it like that. I'm going to grab a bottle of glitterific. Hold on, guys. All righty, so here it is, glitterific. Right here, this is our hot pink color. And this is our I believe rose gold. So I'm gonna spread a little bit out just so you guys can see.
And this is non-toxic, correct?
Yes, absolutely. It's non-toxic.
And the Nussbaum family would like to know, once we put Mod Podge over the paint, is it safe for birds?
You know, I think so. You know, it's non-toxic. So I would definitely think so, because it's non-toxic to, you know, humans.
Yeah, generally, if it's non-toxic to humans, it's also non-toxic to animals, but
yeah. Here you go, you guys. So there is our hot pink glitter, and see how much, and see how thick it is too. And so as you can see, there's no loose glitter going anywhere, and it just brushes on so beautifully.
that's gorgeous.
Yeah. You can't really see that well with this camera quality, but it is some really awesome stuff, you guys. Okay, so next we're gonna do is whenever I'm Mod Podging on a round surface, I like to just kind of have 2 things to kind of like dock into place when I'm gonna be Mod Podging. So I'm just gonna use 2 paint bottles. And I think for this little tiny guy, we're gonna put our tassels on. Actually, you know what? I think we're gonna do our rainbows. So now it's time to break out our Mod Podge Outdoor. Fresh new bottle. Okay, so if you've never used Mod Podge Outdoor before and you're just a regular Mod Podge user, it is a little bit thicker than our normal Mod Podge, so don't be turned off by that. That is just the nature of the formula. It is a little bit thicker, so that's normal. And we're just going to go ahead and prep right onto our surface. Sorry, we're going to go ahead and brush this on right onto our surface. Our little rainbows. And because paper is a lot thicker than, let's say, napkins or tissue paper, I like to just, use my fingers and it's round too, so it doesn't want to lay flat. I like to just hold it on there for give it a good 1, 2, 3, count to 10, just so that it really adheres to it. And see, now it's good. But just because, obviously the paper's flat and the terracotta pot is round, so it doesn't want to naturally stick. But now it's on there really, really good.
Joni would like to know, is there any special prep if you're using glass or crystal plates, because she likes to recycle dishes from thrift stores?
That's a great idea. So I assume you mean instead of the terracotta pots. So we kind of went over that with our porcelain and ceramic plates. Same with glass. You would want to apply some rubbing alcohol, some isopropyl alcohol to your vessel, just to clean it up, so that when you apply your Folkart multi-surface or your Mod Podge, really, there's no oils or dust or debris on your glass that can get in the way of your paint adhering really, really well to your surface. This is a fun craft, you guys.
It really is. And I love seeing everyone crafting along with us today.
Me too. Warms my heart.
Should the paint be completely dry before adding the Mod Podge?
That's a great question. Yes, it absolutely should. So you just want to make sure that your paint is totally dry before you add your Mod Podge on, because you don't want the Mod Podge to smear your paint. And, you don't want any paint to go over your paper and affect the color of your design on your paper, your napkin, or whatever you're using. Great question. And as you can see, I'm just kind of going every other color, rainbow here. Almost done with this guy, at least. And so as you can see, I'm using my Mod Podge Outdoor to adhere my paper to my terracotta pot, but I'm also going to use my Mod Podge Outdoor to seal the pot. And that's the reason we're using the outdoor. It's because I want to put this bird feeder outside, and so I want it to withstand being outside. Cute. Okay, moving on to our next pot. For this one, we're going to apply tassels to it. And just for the sake of time, we're just going to apply the tassels that I cut out. But ideally, I would want this to wrap all the way around my pot. Any more questions, Lindsay? Questions?
I think everyone's just really enjoying this lesson.
Good.
Kathleen would like to know, is one coat of Mod Podge enough to seal?
Yeah, so I will definitely probably, I would probably apply 2 coats of the Mod Podge Outdoor. That's a great question, just to make sure that it really, really seals your project from the elements. That's a great question.
I do see a lot of people crafting along with us today.
That's awesome.
Yes, they're making some beautiful things.
I wish I could see.
Well, hopefully they will post them online with the hashtag plaid crafts and hashtag make it with Michaels so that we can see what they're painting.
Please do. I would love to see all your projects, you guys.
Cynthia would like to know, would 2 coats of Mod Podge hold buttons or small beads onto the pots?
So that's a great question. Usually our regular Mod Podge and like formulas like our Mod Podge Outdoor wouldn't adhere those 3D objects to terracotta pots, but what will is Mod Podge Ultra. So that's kind of what we were talking about earlier. That is another Mod Podge formula that is able to be indoor and outdoor. And it comes in a spray bottle and not an aerosol, but like a spray nozzle. And it is able to keep 3D objects onto surfaces, and it's multi-surface, so it would definitely work on terracotta. So if you wanted to adhere buttons or any other type of 3D objects to your terracotta, I would definitely recommend Mod Podge Ultra. It comes in 2 different finishes, matte and gloss, and it is available at Michaels. And the best part about it too is that because it comes in a spray nozzle and you don't have to brush it on. Sometimes, you know, if you are kind of newer to Mod Podging, I mean, really anyone that Mod Podges, sometimes we get some, you know, unwanted brush strokes on our Mod Podge projects. So that's the great thing about Mod Podge Ultra is that because it's a spray, you don't get any brush strokes. Look how cute that is. I love those little tassels.
Adorable.
Now for our last one, we're gonna add these bigger rainbows. I love rainbows, you guys. And I feel like that whole kind of 70s mod retro look with the muted rainbow colors are definitely coming back in trend. I'm excited.
Me too.
And like I said, this is a bigger shape, so we definitely want to count to, I'd give it about 10, just because it's a flat piece of paper and it naturally wants to stay flat and it doesn't want to curl around a round surface. So once you stick it on there though, it is good to go.
Stacy would like to know, can you use hot glue for 3D objects and then apply Mod Podge, like as a sealer?
Yeah, that's a great idea. You definitely could do that. It's a great idea. And just be mindful too, you guys, sometimes when I am doing a project that involves paint and Mod Podge, I like to, you know, rinse my hands, wash my hands after I use, or just get a baby wipe after I use paint, because if I'm like trying to use my fingers to smooth something out or to like really press something onto something well, I don't want any paint to obviously go onto the parts of the project where that's not supposed to be painted. So just be mindful of that. Like see right here, if I had paint on my thumbs, then it would probably get onto that paper. So just something to be mindful of.
That's a really good tip because I am forever getting paint on everything when I'm crafting. So. And Sandra says, I heard a tip that if you lightly sand and add a coat of Mod Podge after each sanding, it removes the brush strokes. She says, I'm pretty new, so I don't know if this is true for sure.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense because, you know, what brush strokes are, it's the texture that the Mod Podge is creating. And so sandpaper, some really make sure it's fine grit sandpaper would definitely smooth out some of that texture that the brush strokes are creating. So yeah, if you try that at home, let us know if that works or not.
Maya says her favorite and only favorite rainbow is pastel rainbow.
I feel ya.
Pastel is great.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for spring and Easter upcoming. I mean, pastel is perfect.
And who doesn't love a good pastel palette anyway?
Yes.
Even if
And
it's not,
Anita says this will be a great Mother's Day gift.
I agree.
Me too.
We're trying to keep that on the down low.
Yes, all you kids who are making this today, I see you guys, and you should keep it quiet from your mom so you can give it to her for Mother's Day.
All right, so adorable, you guys. So now we're gonna add it all together. This is the best part. So we're gonna get our largest plate and then stack it with our largest pot. And so obviously I would be putting some, ooh, still wet. I don't know why I did that. I would put some E6000 on the rim of my pot and then place it down to seal it. And then what I would do again is I would put E6000 on the highest point of my terracotta pot, because that is the point that's going to come in contact with our plate. And then I would put that over there, or you could just use hot glue, you guys. For kids at home, if you're using E6000, make sure you have adult supervision. Definitely want to note that it is for grown-ups. So maybe just use some hot glue if you're a, if you're a kid crafter today. And then you put your medium-sized pot on top of your medium-sized saucer, and then your smallest plate, and then your smallest pot. And then just one last quick thing. We're going to use our bright pink multi-surface, and I'm going to add that to my palette. And as you can see here, on our original project, we just kind of added these cute little brush strokes to the edges of our plates and our pots. For the pots, we used pure orange, and for the plates, we used bright pink. And what we did is we just went around there, and nothing fancy. We just made little brush marks all around the edges.
And once again, this is multi-surface paint, correct?
Yes, this is multi-surface paint. Great question.
So do you need to seal it with Mod Podge when you're done?
If you're going to place this outdoors, I would probably seal it with Podge Ultra, because you have the paper on top of it. It wouldn't, I definitely would, because we are introducing paper or napkins or fabric or whatever you Mod Podged on here. But just regular multi-surface paint would be able to be, placed outside. Great questions.
Patrice says she's going to add a small rope knotted in the smallest pot so she can hang it up. I think that's a great idea.
Oh, that was a great idea. I love that. Okay. And just go and keep putting those my scissors, that's not safe. And just keep putting those little brush marks just around your plate. And they don't have to be super even, just have fun with it.
Everyone's loving this class, Emma.
Good, I'm so glad. Makes me happy. And so looking back now, I definitely, on the smallest pot, I definitely want to paint the top of it, because you'll be able to see that. But you don't need to paint the top of your, medium and large pot, because you won't see the top of it, because it's going to be covered by the plate. All right, and Bianca, if you wouldn't mind switching over to the other view, we are left with this really, really cute little bird feeder tier. So you guys, thank you so much for joining us for another Michael's Community Classroom class. Like Lindsay and I said, in about 24 to 48 hours, this video will be uploaded to michaels.com under their community classroom page and on their YouTube channel. So be sure to check out for that. That way you can rewind, fast forward, and, replay to your heart's desire to kind of, get the down low on this class. If you missed something, you can catch up. And like we said in the beginning of the video, that we're going to do a giveaway. So Lindsay is going to randomly pick someone from one of our commenters from our comment section throughout the video today. So Lindsay, do you want to go ahead and do that?
Yes, absolutely. I have scrolled through our comments and the winner is Genevieve Dozier.
Yay, congratulations, Genevieve. So Genevieve, make sure you go to our Facebook page, Plaid Crafts, and send us a direct message and just let us know that you won for this Michael's class today. And we'll go ahead and send you some product. We'll get all your info. So congratulations, Genevieve.
Yes, congrats.
So, yeah, make sure you do that. And I just want to thank again everyone for joining us for another awesome class today. And I want to say thank you to Michaels for allowing us to spread some inspiration today. We love being here and doing these classes with you all. So thank you so much for watching and happy Friday. Bye, everybody.